Stop everything you're doing. I'm about to destroy every lie the personal finance industry has ever told you. They tell you to cut out your $5 latte. They tell you to live like a monk. They tell you to feel guilty about every purchase. They tell you that being rich means being miserable. Ramit Sethi calls this complete BS. And after reading I Will Teach You to Be Rich, I'm about to show you why everything you think you know about money is wrong. Here's what blew my mind. The difference between rich people and broke people isn't their income. It isn't their education. It isn't even their spending habits. It's their psychology. It's how they think about money. Whether you're 3 years out of college, 3 years into a new career, or 3 years into seriously building wealth, you're at the perfect inflection point. You're past the survival stage, but you haven't locked into permanent financial patterns yet. This is your moment. This is when small mindset shifts create massive wealth differences over the next 20 years. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to rewire your brain about money using Sethi's proven 6-week system. You'll discover why budgeting is for people who fail with money, how to automate yourself rich while you sleep, the psychology tricks that make millionaires different, why your parents' money advice will keep you broke, and the exact mindset shifts that separate the wealthy from everyone else. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to be rich. You'll think like someone who's already rich. And that change in thinking, that's worth millions. Most people think credit cards are dangerous. Sethi says that's broke person thinking. Rich people use credit cards to get richer. Here's the psychology behind it. Poor people see a credit card and think debt trap. Rich people see the same card and think cash flow tool, reward system, and credit building machine. Your parents probably told you to cut up your credit cards. They meant well, but they were teaching you to be afraid of money. Fear-based money management keeps you broke. Rich people aren't afraid of money. They're strategic with it. When you use credit cards strategically, paying them off automatically, earning rewards, building credit, you're training your brain that money is a tool you control, not something that controls you. This psychological shift affects every financial decision you'll ever make. 2 people buy a $1,000 laptop. Broke mindset says, I can't afford this. I'll put it on credit and stress about it. Rich mindset says, I'll put this on my rewards card, earn 2% cash back, pay it off automatically from my laptop fund, and improve my credit score. Same purchase. Completely different psychology, completely different financial outcome. If you don't have a rewards credit card, get one today. But more importantly, notice how this makes you feel. If you feel scared, that's broke psychology. If you feel strategic, that's rich psychology. This will shock you. Rich people spend less time thinking about money than broke people. Why? Because they've automated everything. Broke people spend hours every week managing money. Rich people spend hours once, then never think about it again. Most people rely on willpower to save money. They wake up every day and decide whether to save or spend. This is exhausting, and it doesn't work. Rich people create systems that make the right choice automatic. They never have to decide to save money. It happens automatically. Sethi's automation system works like this. Paycheck hits checking account. Fixed costs auto-pay like rent, utilities, minimums. Savings auto-transfer to 401k, emergency fund, goals. Guilt-free spending money is what's left. This isn't just about money. It's about mental freedom. When your finances run automatically, your brain is free to focus on earning more and enjoying life. Here's what's brilliant. When saving is automatic, you never feel the pain of giving up money. You only see what's available to spend guilt-free. Manual savers feel poor because they're constantly choosing between saving and spending. Automatic savers feel rich because they only see their fun money. Automation breaks the scarcity mindset that keeps people broke. Instead of hoarding every dollar, you're confidently spending your designated fund money because you know your future is already taken care of. Broke people think investing is for rich people. Rich people think investing is what makes people rich. The difference isn't money, it's identity. Rich people see themselves as investors from day one, even if they only have $50 to invest. When you see yourself as an investor, you make different decisions. You research before buying anything expensive. You think long-term instead of just next month. You see market volatility as opportunity, not danger. You reinvest gains instead of spending them. Every millionaire started with their first $100 investment. Not because $100 is life-changing money, but because that first investment changes your identity. You're no longer someone who might invest someday. You're someone who is investing right now. Broke people see market crashes and think, I'm losing money. Rich people see the same crash and think, everything's on sale. Same event, different psychology, different financial outcome. Sethi recommends index funds not just because they're diversified and low cost, but because they train your brain correctly. Individual stocks make you feel like you're gambling. Index funds make you feel like you're building wealth systematically. That psychological difference affects how consistently you invest. When you start investing regularly, even small amounts, you begin thinking like someone building long-term wealth. This identity change influences every financial decision for the next 10 years. This is the most counterintuitive part. Rich people often spend more money than broke people on the things they care about. The difference: they spend less on everything they don't care about, so they can spend more on what brings them joy. The personal finance industry tells you to cut out small pleasures. Sethi says this is backward psychology that keeps people broke. When you deny yourself small pleasures, you eventually splurge on big purchases you can't afford. It's like going on an extreme diet. You eventually binge. Rich people ask different questions. Broke person asks, can I afford this? Rich person asks, is this worth it to me right now? One question is about scarcity. The other is about values and priorities. When your savings are automated and your fixed costs are covered, every dollar left over is guilt-free spending money. This eliminates the constant internal negotiation that exhausts broke people. Rich people align their spending with their values. Love travel? Cut restaurant spending, increase travel budget. Love cooking? Splurge on kitchen equipment, eat out less. Love learning? Invest heavily in courses and books. This isn't about spending less, it's about spending consciously. Conscious spending creates an abundance mindset. Instead of feeling deprived, you feel in control. Instead of feeling guilty about purchases, you feel strategic. While broke people obsess over cutting expenses, rich people obsess over increasing income. Both matter, but one has unlimited upside potential. You can only cut expenses to zero, but you can increase income infinitely. Most people think money is a fixed pie. If someone else gets more, there's less for everyone else. This is broke person psychology. Rich people understand that value creation expands the pie. When you help others get what they want, they pay you for that value. Sethi teaches that negotiating your salary once can be worth more than decades of coupon clipping. A $5,000 salary increase, invested properly, compounds to hundreds of thousands over your career. No amount of latte cutting can compete with that. Rich people invest heavily in skills that increase their earning potential, courses that improve job performance, networking events that create opportunities, side projects that develop new capabilities. They see these as investments with unlimited ROI potential, not expenses. Instead of asking, how can I save money? Rich people ask, how can I create more value for others? This subtle shift changes everything. You focus on what you can give, not what you can get. You develop skills people will pay for. You see opportunity everywhere. You become someone others want to pay. Most people think rich means having a certain amount of money. Sethi defines rich as living life exactly the way you want to live it. Your rich life might cost $50,000 per year or $500,000 per year. The amount doesn't matter. The intentionality does. Broke people constantly compare their financial situation to others. Rich people only compare their current situation to their past situation. The question isn't, am I doing better than them? It's, am I doing better than I was last year? Rich people see money as buying freedom, freedom to choose their work, freedom to help family members, freedom to pursue interests, freedom from financial stress. Broke people see money as buying stuff or status. This keeps them on an endless treadmill of earning and spending. Rich people have a clear definition of enough. They know exactly how much money they need to live their rich life, and they work systematically toward that number. Broke people never define enough, so they never know when they've won. This leads to either undersaving or oversaving without purpose. Most people try to make more money, then figure out what to do with it. Rich people define their ideal lifestyle first, then reverse engineer the money needed to support it. This creates clarity, motivation, and strategic decision-making. Rich people integrate their money decisions with their life values. Every financial choice supports their vision of their rich life. This isn't about maximizing money. It's about optimizing for the life you actually want to live. In the last 27 minutes, your brain has been rewired. You now think about money the way millionaires think about money. Let's recap the mindset shifts that change everything. Credit cards as wealth tools. Money is something you control, not something that controls you. Automation creates freedom. Systems beat willpower every time. You're an investor. Your identity shapes your financial destiny. Conscious spending wins. Rich people spend more on what they love, less on what they don't. Focus on earning more. Income has unlimited upside potential. Rich is a lifestyle choice. Define your rich life, then build it systematically. You're at the perfect moment to implement these mindset shifts. You have enough life experience to be strategic, but enough time ahead to let compound growth work its magic. The next 3 years will either lock you into broke person psychology or rich person psychology. The difference will show up in your bank account for the next 30 years. Starting today, Get a rewards credit card and use it strategically. Automate one financial task this week. Make your first investment, even if it's only $50. Define what your rich life looks like. Be specific. Identify one skill you can develop to earn more. Calculate your enough number. How much money do you actually need? These aren't just money tips. They're psychology upgrades. When you think like a rich person, you automatically make decisions that create wealth. The best part? This isn't about depriving yourself or living like a monk. It's about designing a system that makes you automatically wealthy while you focus on living your rich life. Sethi's program works, but only if you implement it. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Pick one mindset shift from today's video and implement it this week. Not all 6, just one. Master that, then move to the next. Your rich life is waiting. The only question is, will you think your way to wealth? Or will you stay trapped in broke person psychology? The choice is yours. Your future self is counting on what you decide right now. Stop making excuses. Start thinking rich. I will teach you to be rich, but only if you're ready to think like someone who already is.